Hi, I'm Shane Lawson. I'm CEO and President of Thor Explorations. Thor is a West African-focused gold producer with a gold project in Nigeria and a gold project in Senegal being built. We produced 98,000 ounces of gold last year, 43,000 ounces of gold the first half of this year. We've also got a portfolio of early-stage lithium ground in Nigeria.
Well, good to see you over here. You enjoying yourself? What's happening at the conference?
I am, enjoying myself. It's a very busy conference, packed few days out here, and good to meet new people and good to also see what the sentiment is, how our story is received.
Right, okay. Now, I always get worried when people announce that they're chasing lithium pegmatites over the last few months, that things aren't going well. But things are going well for you. Why don't you give us a rundown of, obviously, flagship project first, if you don't mind?
Yeah, look, we're producing in Nigeria. We've done 43,000 ounces of the first half of the year. Our initial guidance was 85 to 100,000 ounces for the year. We've revised that and just kept that 85 because we know how difficult this high strip area is. But, we're coming out the back end of that, and that positions us very nicely for the rest of the mine life to be in this high-grade, low-strip area.
Right. What are the plans there in terms of growth? Obviously, we'll go to Senegal in a second, but what are the plans in Nigeria in terms of the growth component to the story?
Yeah, so our top priority as a company is extending the mine life at Segilola. We've invested in the infrastructure there. We've implemented it. So we have a mill that can continue going for another 30 years. And the area around us is very underexplored. We think our deposit can't be there in isolation. And for the first time in our history, we've had available funds to explore properly. So we've already started getting some success. We're getting some small high-grade deposits within 25 kilometers of the plant. Obviously, by next year, we'll have more funds to ramp up exploration. And we're confident that we will be able to extend the mine life. I'd like to add to that, not just looking at satellite deposits, there is an underground component to the Segilola pit. There's an opportunity to also take the pit deeper. So that's a drilling program will also continue in January next year.
Right, so talk to me about the exploration bit, because obviously that could be quite exciting. You've not done a lot. We've started something, but not a lot. So how much have you allocated in terms of dollars, or how many meters have you drilled?
Yeah, so this year we've allocated about $5 million for the exploration. And it's a step change to where we were before. Before, we'd have a rig going, we'd samples sent off to Canada, 5 weeks to get the results back. Now we have 4 rigs going on the gold. We have earth moving equipment. We have geologists. We have our own lab. We turn our samples around within a week. So yeah, it's completely changed.
When did that arrive? The lab?
The lab. Oh, no, when we built the mine about 18 months ago.
Okay, right. Okay, well, that's quite handy. And next year's plan would be to increase that $5 million budget to a bit more?
It increases to a bit more, so we're able to not just follow up the targets, but follow up them quickly.
Okay, fine. So under control there, obviously, difficult Q2, difficult beginning of Q3, but we're moving through that.
That's correct, yes.
Okay, let's go to Senegal. So I'm rushing to this, folks, because you are a busy man, and we managed to squeeze you in. Senegal, obviously, the plan is to get into production, but where are you at the moment?
So Senegal, earlier this year, we announced an updated resource, which is 1.78 million ounces, about 50-50 indicated and inferred. We then kicked off a 15,000 meter drill program, and the aim of that program was to convert some of that inferred to indicated, and also hopefully lift the grade, and hopefully, fingers crossed, try and break that 2 million ounce mark. We just finished that program a week ago. Results have started coming in. We press released our first set of results. Very encouraged by them. 23 gram intersections, 8 meter wide intersections at 4.5 grams. So we're hoping that we're going in the right direction in terms of increasing the grade and the tonnage.
Right. Okay. Now Senegal, lots of headlines about the Sahel region, slightly further west of you. I guess neither project's affected by any of the goings on that you're aware of.
That's correct. We're able to continue operating as normal.
Right.
Not happening in these jurisdictions. Obviously, Nigeria shares a border with Niger, so any instability there wouldn't be nice. So we hope issues like that.
You're quite far south there, aren't you?
Yeah, we're very far south, and
right.
We've remained completely unaffected.
Right. Okay. So Senegal, obviously, big gold jurisdiction, lots of operators there. The goal for you, though, is you're a producer now. Is to produce. Are there opportunities for you to acquire more land to maybe look at some of these cash-strapped businesses in country?
In Senegal or Nigeria?
Yes, Senegal.
Yes, look, we keep looking all over West Africa, not just Senegal. We keep looking. I think we've got to remember how to prioritize our opportunities. We have our initial organic opportunities, which top of the priority list is extending that mine life in Nigeria. But obviously, we've got a great presence in Senegal. We've been there a long time. Jurisdiction, we know. Once we're stable in Nigeria, we're in a position to deploy more cash, certainly looking at more opportunities.
Okay. And what was the difference between both countries in terms of operations on the ground? I know people perception initially was that, Nigeria's a tough one. Not many gold companies there, but Senegal a little bit easier?
I think the main difference is Senegal's had more of a recent history and track record in gold mining, which has meant things like there's data available. There's been trial and error by other companies. There's geological interpretations. There's a ministry that's been through the permitting process for building mines. For us in Nigeria, the mining sector in Nigeria largely been neglected for 50, 60 years because of the prevalence of oil and gas. So getting access to data, we were the ones doing the trial and error. We were the ones having the mine permitted. It was a learning process for us and the Ministry of Mines. Exporting gold, we were the first company to do that in such quantities. It was a learning process as well. So I think the fact that Senegal's had this recent history has made operating there, slightly easier on the technical aspects. But on the non-technical aspects, Nigeria's got a young, educated population. We've had no trouble hiring accountants, in-house lawyers, community, environmental specialists from the oil and gas sector with transferable skills. So each have their pros and cons.
Right. Okay. Now we can't not talk about lithium, especially when you throw the word pegmatite in there. People getting a little bit excited. Now, first of all, tell us what we're looking at. You've got it in a separate vehicle.
Yeah.
Right. Why have you done that?
Okay. So we're a gold miner. We're a gold producer. That's our top priority. We have a gold project in production. We have a gold project we're looking to build. But we're also a first mover in Nigeria as a miner, and that has meant, regardless of what we do, we have huge number of opportunities being gravitating towards us to review. And a lot of them we don't look at. Some are coal, some are lead zinc, some are iron ore.
Yeah.
But lithium, is very topical these days. And Nigeria used to be the largest exporter of tin prior to the discovery of oil. So you think of all the pegmatites there, which are mineralized. And even simply just going through LinkedIn, looking at people with holding lithium spodumene samples, grading at 5%, we had a closer look and we were hugely impressed by what we saw. 5, 6, 7% in the rock chips. Even had some 8 and 9%, which we thought were too good to be true, and send them to different international labs. But what we've done is we've put our portfolio together, held it in a separate vehicle. We used our parent vehicle to do an initial exploration program there. We're very encouraged by the initial drill results: 11 meters at 2.6%, 9 meters at 2.4, 11 meters at 1.49%. For us, we think a company our size, this is an opportunity too good to ignore.
Those numbers are insane.
Yeah, so and this is just the first pegmatite there. Yeah. If there a dozen or 20 of these that are mineralized in the same way, it's going to be an amazing opportunity and transformational opportunity for the company.
Well, absolutely. However you play that with the vehicle that you've put this into. Can you tell us, is this sort of like shallow type stuff, or when you say drilling, how far are you drilling?
Well, a lot of these pegmatites are outcropping, so the initial the initial drilling has been very shallow dipping pegmatites. Some of them have artisanal activity on them already. Those are very good indicators. Looking for the gemstones and kunzite that you find in the pegmatites.
Okay.
And the savvy ones are also looking at exporting the lithium, where now there's a lot of interest.
Right. Okay. Well, that's pretty exciting. And again, allocation of budget to that is what?
So for the lithium, it's just an initial 5,000 meters, and then we'll make a decision.
Right.
What we can say is, after the 5,000 meters, we've got great opportunities. We can joint venture, we can probably maybe raise money at that level, but we're not going to dilute our Thor shareholders. That's a company that's wholly owned by Thor. If anything is advanced there, it would be a project level, whether it's a JV or an investment by strategic.
Right, and would that require a separate team, or will you kind of co-mingle?
Well, we'll try and manage it. I think, our in-country advantage is too good to ignore. We have excellent relationships with the government. We have a brand in country. We have earth-moving equipment. We have geologists. It's just a head start having that parent company there.
Yeah, extraordinary opportunity ahead of you. Well, look, I know you've got places to be. As always, pleasure to speak to you. Things are going well. I'm very glad.
Thank you. Thanks for having me again.
Cheers.
Yeah.